Secret surveillance for counter-piracy. In the early 2000s, as global shipping routes came under increasing threat from piracy, particularly off the coast of Somalia and in the Gulf of Aden, the world's commercial arteries faced a new and dangerous enemy. Armed groups in skiffs, backed by warlords and armed with AK-47s and RPGs, began hijacking massive cargo ships, demanding millions in ransom and disrupting global trade. Naval patrols were stretched thin, and conventional responses were often too slow. That's when Blackwater reportedly entered the scene, quietly, efficiently, and with an entirely different approach. While international coalitions scrambled to coordinate naval task forces, Blackwater carved out a secret role in surveillance for counter-piracy, tracking pirate movements, monitoring choke points, and relaying critical intelligence to shipping companies and government agencies. Their presence wasn't publicized, no headlines, no flags, just unmarked vessels, drones, and operatives equipped with state-of-the-art surveillance tools, gathering data in one of the most lawless regions on Earth. Unlike traditional naval forces, Blackwater had freedom of movement. They didn't have to go through diplomatic channels or wait for permission to operate. They could position covert surveillance teams on commercial vessels, deploy aerial drones from private ships, and use maritime radar systems to track pirate groups from afar. Their teams included former Navy SEALs and special boat operators who understood naval tactics, but now worked in the shadows of the private sector. Their intelligence gathering extended to coastal observation posts and informant networks embedded in fishing villages and port towns in Somalia, Djibouti, and Yemen. Contractors allegedly paid locals for tips, tracked pirate financing, and sometimes even monitored communications via satellite intercepts. These efforts helped create pirate profiles, patterns of behavior, timing, preferred routes, and suspected safe havens. Some shipping companies hired Blackwater directly to provide route assessments, threat analysis, and secure passage planning. In extreme cases, they also provided armed onboard security teams, another controversial step that blurred the lines between commercial shipping and private warfare. These teams, trained in fast-response counter-assault tactics, were sometimes the only defense against heavily armed boarding parties. But it was the surveillance aspect that made Blackwater's role so significant. By feeding their intelligence to naval forces and private maritime insurers, they became a vital, but invisible, part of the global response. They operated in the gray zone between commerce and combat, often going where official forces couldn't or wouldn't go. This quiet contribution to counter-piracy was not without risk. Blackwater teams reportedly faced close encounters with pirate vessels, dodged rocket fire, and were at times forced to make split-second decisions without legal protection from a national flag. If captured, their legal status would be murky. Were they civilians, mercenaries, intelligence contractors? The answer was always, they're not there. Critics raised alarms over the increasing privatization of maritime security. Was it acceptable to outsource surveillance and security on international waters to a private entity? Who held Blackwater accountable if something went wrong? These questions, as usual, were buried beneath layers of contracts, non-disclosure agreements, and strategic ambiguity. Still, the results were tangible. Pirate attacks declined in areas under surveillance. Ransom negotiations became more complex for pirate networks. Several high-profile hijackings were prevented, and all the while, Blackwater operated in the background, an unseen force in a maritime chess game where every move had global consequences. Secret surveillance for counter-piracy wasn't just about protecting cargo. It was about protecting the fragile web of globalization from chaos. And in that mission, Blackwater proved once again that war, commerce, and intelligence could be fused into a single, silent operation, executed without a flag, but with undeniable impact.